absolutely staggering. 2 million wild boars are sweeping across Germany, tearing through farmlands, ravaging forests, and spreading fear, even to the quiet villages on the outskirts. With an almost unstoppable rate of reproduction, this invasive species is spiraling far beyond control. Can humanity hold back this raging tide from the deep woods? Or will the land and harvest be forever consumed beneath the shadow of this gray army? You're watching Wild Hunters, where the fierce battles between man and nature's most relentless invaders come to life in breathtaking intensity. Wild boars in Germany are wreaking havoc on farmlands, threatening the livelihoods of millions of farmers. They tear through cornfields and rice paddies, rip up the soil, and even attack livestock. Each year, the damage amounts to billions in losses. Can humanity hold the line against this unstoppable force? Iron fences, traps, poison, nothing works. Wild boars are too clever, reproducing like a storm, adapting to every defense thrown at them. That's when the professionals step in. Jack and Ethan lead an organized campaign armed with off-road vehicles, hunting rifles, thermal cameras, night vision goggles, and highly trained dogs. This is no longer a random hunt. It's a full-scale operation against one of the most aggressive invasive species in all of Europe. As dawn breaks over the misty forests of Germany, the silence of the morning is shattered by the sharp echo of gunfire. That sound, clean, controlled, and relentless, could only belong to Jack, the nation's most renowned marksman. For over 15 years, Jack has dedicated his life to mastering the art of boar hunting. Trained by his father since he was just a boy, he learned not only how to shoot, but how to think like a hunter, how to read the wind, track footprints, and feel the rhythm of the forest. Every sense in his body is tuned to perfection, every movement measured and efficient. His record speaks for itself, an astounding 150 wild boars in a single day, a feat most hunters could only dream of achieving. Each shot fired from his rifle carries the weight of experience and precision, quick, clean, and merciless. In the eyes of the villagers, Jack isn't just a hunter. He's a guardian, the man who stands between their crops and chaos. And for any wild boar unlucky enough to cross his path, that encounter marks the end of the road. A new day dawns, and Jack gathers with his trusted teammates once again. This time, their strategy is bold: to spread out across the open fields and establish total dominance over the wild boars. For a lone boar to escape, it would have to break through a gauntlet of 10 skilled marksmen. And as you might have guessed, none ever make it that far. Shouts echo across the valley, dogs bark ferociously, and the cries of the boars rise in chaotic chorus. The air is thick with tension and excitement, a fierce symphony of man, beast, and nature locked in battle. For Jack and his crew, this isn't just a hunt. It's a test of precision, teamwork, and unyielding spirit. And so they pressed on. The entire team swept across the land, from vast open plains to rugged mountain ridges. From above, the world seemed to shrink beneath their advance, as if the earth itself acknowledged their resolve. But truly, the blame lay with the wild boars. Too aggressive, too destructive. Their rampage has caused immense damage, not only to Germany's farmlands, but to ecosystems across the world. Humanity could no longer stand idle. This was no longer just a hunt. It was a fight to restore balance, a stand against chaos itself. In another direction, Ethan and his son were tracking through a quiet mountain slope. The air was still, almost serene, yet the forest was alive with the hidden presence of wild boars. Side by side, father and son moved with steady focus, studying every sound, every movement, every trace on the ground. Their determination was clear. Not a single boar would escape their sight. And then, bang! The gunshot rang out, echoing across the valley and deep into the woods. That single moment broke the silence of dawn and marked a brilliant victory for the two. A day of success, pride, and the unspoken bond between generations written in the heart of the wild. With a fire burning in his eyes, Ethan surged forward without hesitation. Every step he took sent leaves rustling beneath his boots as the forest echoed with distant growls. His mission was clear. He wouldn't stop until every wild boar on this mountain was driven out or taken down. The deeper he ventured into the wilderness, the thicker the tension grew. Boars darted between the trees, their shadows flickering across the dim morning light. But Ethan was relentless. His rifle barked again and again, precise, steady, merciless. Even the fastest and cleverest among them couldn't escape his aim. Each shot was a symphony of discipline and experience built through years of hunting. Sweat ran down his temple, but he didn't slow. His focus was absolute. For Ethan, this wasn't just a hunt. It was a battle to reclaim the land, to protect what people had built from being devoured by chaos. And now the big question stands before you. Between Jack and Ethan, who do you believe has shown the greater mastery in this hunt so far? Whose instincts, precision, and courage truly set them apart? Let us know in the comments below. Your thoughts might decide who's the ultimate wild hunter. The sound of barking dogs shattered the stillness of the forest. Sharp, urgent, relentless. Ethan froze for a split second, then his instincts took over. Through the thick mist, he caught sight of his target, a massive jet-black wild boar charging across the clearing like a shadow unleashed. Without hesitation, he steadied his rifle. His breath slowed. Time seemed to stand still. Boom! The gunshot echoed through the mountains, and for a heartbeat, the entire forest fell silent. Leaves fluttered to the ground. The dog stopped barking, and there it was. The beast lay still, the hunt complete. Ethan stepped forward, eyes calm but gleaming with quiet pride. This was no accident, no stroke of luck. This was the precision of a true marksman, a hunter born for moments like this.
Parle de tout cœur. Julien aura la chance de vivre aussi une très belle scène en retournant à sa voiture à la même chasse. Les amis, si vous aimez le contenu de la chaîne et vous voulez la faire.
In the stillness of the forest, this was the battleground Prey and his team had chosen to take down the wild boar herd. From a distance, the air seemed peaceful, but up in the trees, the hunters had built a sturdy blind, a wooden lookout waiting for movement below. Every breath, every rustle of leaves was under watch. The moment a boar moved, the hunter's scopes locked on. Crystal clear, steady, unshakable. A low murmur spread through the underbrush. The herd grew restless. Then chaos erupted. Boars burst out from the shadows, desperate to flee. But escape was impossible. These men weren't just hunters. They were protectors. Each shot fired was not for sport, but for balance, to defend the land from erosion, to safeguard every stalk of corn from destruction, to preserve the fragile ecosystem that the wild boars had long ravaged. The damage had gone too far. Now it was time for nature to take its course, and for the reckless intruders to pay the price. A storm of gunfire echoed through the valley. One by one, the wild boars scattered in panic, but there was nowhere left to run. Each shot rang out with precision, a thunderous reminder of human resilience and control. But amid the chaos, a question lingers. How did there come to be so many of them? And more importantly, if not for these skilled hunters standing guard, who else could hold back this unstoppable force of destruction? Every pull of the trigger carries weight, not of cruelty, but of duty. These hunters are not mere pursuers of game. They are guardians of balance, defenders of farmlands, and protectors of nature's fragile order. Their mission may seem harsh, but it's a battle for harmony, a fight to reclaim peace from the cheese of chaos. Each shot fired is a declaration of courage, a symbol of humanity's will to restore what was lost. So perhaps, instead of judging, we should give thanks. For without them, the wild would have swallowed our world whole. Do you still remember this man? Yes, the night assassin himself, the hunter whose name echoes through the forests of Germany. If you've been following our previous episodes, you already know who we're talking about. If not, well, let's just say you're about to witness something extraordinary. Armed with the most advanced night hunting gear, thermal scopes, silenced rifles, and drones that pierce the darkness, he moves like a shadow, unseen yet unstoppable. They say he can take down hundreds of wild boars in a single night, and that's no exaggeration. Let me tell you a story. In the German city of Karlsruhe, wild boars once overran the outskirts. More than 20,000 of them roamed freely, tearing up crops, gardens, and even suburban streets. The situation was dire, until he arrived. Within just 1 week, the chaos was gone. The fields were quiet again, the forests still. What remained were only faint traces of hoofprints, the last reminders of a threat erased by one man's precision, discipline, and silent mastery of the hunt. Today, wild boars are no longer harmless creatures of the forest. They have become a dire threat to agriculture, the environment, and human life. Yet with determination, technology, and the power of community, we are gradually taking back control. This journey is far from over, and the future can only be secured if we stand together. The war against this invasive species is not finished, and wild hunters will be there on the front lines. Like, comment, and subscribe to join us in the battles ahead.